Full of scenic beauty and rich heritage, Texas possesses various picturesque towns that are just waiting to be experienced. Snuggled in every corner of the Lone Star State, tourists who enjoy history and the countryside can find that these Texas cities offer a variety of beautiful scenery and attractions that provide perspective into the state's vibrant past, perfect for settling down. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we will see the inside of a Texas ranch. Before beginning, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel and click the notification for regular updates regarding our channel. Let's move on. A West Texas ranch, which is as big as Texas, is up for sale with a sticker price to match. More prominent than Dallas County, this rugged land extends from the Rio Grande River's shores to the town of Marathon, which contains everything from canyons to mountains and deserts. The property contains more than 5,000-foot-high cliffs, lush valleys, and waterways. It is the largest property for sale in Texas and one of the largest spread in all of North America. Kentucky businessman Brad Kelly, who was among the largest landowners in the U.S., has assembled the mammoth Trans-Pecos Trail and is offering it for sale to get ready for its $320 million. The ranch has been put together over the last 2 decades and represents 22 different ranches. James King, the Fort Davis real estate broker, is selling the property in an email stated. He also said that he was selling the entire property or carefully splitting the block of land into 5 different ranches. King Land and Water is currently getting ranch offers. He said in an interview with Marfa Public Radio that he would love to find a buyer who would keep the assets secure. Attempting to find a qualified buyer in the Big Bend for 420,000 acres of an arid, mountainous backcountry begins as a challenging task. The asking price of $320 million excludes all but a few billionaires with superiority complexes and riches to match, and there may be other unforeseen twists. A few weeks ago, Fort Davis realtor James King bumped along a rugged ranch road in his Chevy truck, introducing a wealthy prospective buyer to the splendor of the surrounding ranch land. Suddenly, there was a black bear posing in the air about 20 yards from the vehicle. It was the strangest thing to see. His mind was unable to process it. It looked like an individual in a bear suit, King said. The bear stared King in the eye, then spun and walked away. So it's in one of the craziest, most elusive, and rugged corners of Texas, mainly popular to cowboys, poachers, and law enforcement officers. It remains uncertain if the bear encounter improved King's chances with the buyer, one of only a handful of prospective clients who, so far, had been inquiring about a piece of real estate as big as Houston. While black bears are uncommon, wild boar and javelina are abundant, and many have been seen on a recent trip. Deer, desolate bighorn sheep, pheasants, and mountain lions are also present here, as is the rare furtive party of illegal northbound refugees. The rocky land, which occupies 656 square miles of the Chihuahuan Desert, lies in the mildly settled eastern third of Brewster County, which is itself larger than Connecticut. Nuzzling the Big Bend National Park and adjoining the Rio Grande, the property belongs to Brad Kelly, a media-shy Tennessee businessman who made his millions in property and tobacco. True to form, Kelly classified Land Report as the 8th largest landlord in the United States with approximately 1.14 million acres, refused to speak about his decision to sell a considerable portion of his Texas holdings. He's smart, he's done well for himself, and I completely value his privacy, King said about his client, who wouldn't disclose anything else about Kelly. Spreading about 30 by 50 miles, the so-called Brewster Ranches consist of 22 plots that have been glued together to be marketed as one parcel. If that fails, King said they could be provided as 5 different bits. The unusually shaped layout most accurately reflects the bluntly gerrymandered Texas congressional district. Everything but one ranch is adjacent to the others, settled by Anglos at the end of the 19th century after the Apaches and the Comanches were subdued. The area has an abundance of Texas culture. Bullis Gap Ranch is named after a well-known Indian warrior and chief of the Black Seminole Scouts. In the battle against the Apaches and the Kickapoos in Mexico, Lieutenant John L. Bullis crossed the mountain pass recognized as Bullis Gap. Another land included in the sale is the remnants of the famous Gage Ranch, which occupied 500,000 acres a century ago. held 10,000 cattle, and extended almost to Marfa along the Southern Pacific Railroad. But the Big Bend ranching started declining decades ago, and when Kelly decided to buy land here, several old home ranches were collapsing. Alpine realtor Johnny Carpenter, who sold some properties to him, describes Kelly as a down-to-earth, consummate professional who just happens to be very wealthy. He's very frank and honest. He's eager to negotiate and chat with citizens. He's one of the best customers I've ever worked with, he said. King, who was in control of land management at the Nature Conservancy in Texas when he first dealt with Kelly, said he was very conservative and that the perfect buyer of his holdings would share that passion. King said that in an ideal world, the new owner would agree to retain easements that would restrict potential growth. On a recent 6-hour bumpy ride of just a tiny section of the estate, past contentious claw cat underbrush, cholla cactus, and greasewood, the ranch lived up to some of the superlatives found in the glossy promotional pamphlet. Situated at an altitude of 1,600 feet above sea level at the Rio Grande to more than a mile north of the Santiago mountain range, the landscape varies from the desert in the south to broken grasslands at higher altitudes closer to Marathon. Birds, rodents, and even insects use the vast wilderness as a migration route to the north and south. If you arrive here in October, there are over 1 million monarch butterflies residing in all the trees here on their route to Mexico, King said. At the very first stop, the Horse Mountain Ranch, a well-kept cabin used by hunters, overlooked a spring-fed pool that was never dry. Half an hour's drive southeast, the San Francisco Creek flows dreamily through cottonwoods to another old village. The San Francisco Ranch boasts good water, an oversized runway, a large hangar, and a beautiful hacienda-style house with a spacious courtyard and a tiled fountain. Still, in decent condition, the big house on the hill is tastefully furnished in the Old West style, with enormous wood and leather furniture and sculptures by Frederick Remington. Half a century ago, all this belonged to a rich man called Morgan Chaney, who evidently had many friends as he designed accommodation for 40 people. Today, there's just a tall and gruff young cowboy in the ranch house below the big house. With only his dogs and his companions, Luke Dougherty takes care of the cattle and keeps watch over the big house. I've been living here and there for a number of years, said Dougherty, 24, whose family has grazing rights, voicing little concern about a potential shift in ownership. On his way back to Marathon, through miles of breathtaking views and a half-dozen ranch gates, King spoke about the timing and logistics of a future sale. Given the deal's uncertainty and the high price tag, he said, it could happen quickly if the right buyer emerges. And while there have been many genuine inquiries and others quickly revealed as illusionary inquiries, a dedicated buyer has yet to appear. King has no illusions that they're out there, and one doesn't have to look far to realize that such a costly and complicated transaction could happen. 4 years ago, sports mogul Stan Kroenke, founder of the Denver Nuggets NBA team and other professional group, purchased the 520,000-acre Wagoneer Ranch, which covers 6 counties northwest of Wichita Falls. The property had a price of $725 million. And 6 years ago, John Malone, CEO of Liberty Media, became the 29,000-acre Bel Ranch owner in New Mexico for $83 million. Malone, the country's most prominent landowner, controls more than 2 million acres. Alrighty, it looks like we have come to the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to like the video and share it with your friends. Oh, and if you are a fan of such content, turn on post notifications and subscribe. Would you buy this beautiful ranch if you had millions of dollars? Let us know in the comments below. See y'all next time. Until then, bye folks.